What's up, guys? Studfit here. We have another episode of The Rundown. I appreciate your patience these last few days as you've been patiently waiting. And in order to make up for that, I am dressed up as Bowser Santa, a little encore performance of Bowser Santa, more or less because you guys have been patient. But then, two, I want to dedicate this video to all those players who waited the last 11 months, 12 months, whatever it's been, to finally get your hands on Bowser Santa. You've been kicking yourself this summer, you know, with all these different tracks that he was on, and expecting him to come back. I mean, I think we've already seen Mario Tuxedo, Toilet Paper Mario, like 3 or 4 times since he's been released, and now we even have Kamek again. But we never had Bowser Santa in any other pipe except for the holiday pipe. So this video is for you, this outfit's for you, and we're going to have some fun here. You also notice that with me, I have my good friend, JonBoy88. Welcome.
Appreciate you having me on here, man. Glad to see you dressed up as Bowser. It's pretty funny. And good kicking your butt in multiplayer, too.
Yeah, so the reason JonBoy is joining us, he is one of our Super Stud members, so you've seen him on Kart Talk before, but the reason he's here on the rundown is that for the whole month of November, we had a contest every single Monday night for member multiplayer Mondays. We accumulated the points of a couple, so I think you ended up winning with like 300 or 400 points, and it was, to be honest with you, I think we were trying to make it sound closer than it really was towards the end, but you definitely dominated, and so the reward was to bring you on for the rundown. We were going to potentially have Antilev join us, but I think based on our schedules and already delaying this as much as we had, we just have JonBoy, and I think though JonBoy will make a great co-host this rundown, and excited to have you on. There's a lot to talk about. To me, you know, this tour is kind of a filler tour. But I know that there are a lot of Bowser Santa fans, the people that wanted to pull him, the people that love that, and personally think this tour I just did really enjoy playing on Merry Mountain, getting on those tracks, going up and down that mountain. So for me, I hate to call it a filler tour, so I won't. But ultimately, this is a tour that is kind of prepping for what's to come, but. We'll kind of break each item down, whether it's the pipes or the packs or what's all going on. The rundown was originally created to really kind of break down behind the scenes what's going on in the meta level strategy, and that's where the rundown was born nearly I think now 14 months ago, and now it's been a pivotal part of the community, and appreciate your patience. Talking about communities, we have awesome members. We've had so much fun with these member Mondays. We're taking a break here in December. We might start the contest back up in January. We also have fun with Fantasy Football League that we've been in, and Tabor's actually been the #1 team in the league. He's been crushing us. I've been playing E-Deedle this week. Thought I was going to get crushed, and then I had Kittle as my tight end, and he went bonkers. I think he scored me 40 points. And this is recorded on a Sunday. My Steelers somehow pulled a win over Brian Voice's Ravens, so excited about that. But we have so much fun as a member. If you'd like to be able to enjoy this community, we actually have a fun little event coming up here. We're getting other communities involved. We'll actually be doing an award ceremony, best of 2021, so look out for that. We'll be getting some surveys sent out to all the servers, as many servers as possible. But I think a lot of our server mates here, these community members, are going to be a big part of the nominations and how we get the different categories. So fun to have. If you guys want to have fun and you guys are enjoying this community and you're maybe not finding as much elsewhere, feel free to join. We'd love to have you. It is a members-only Discord server, so it's a little bit more close-knit, and we have a lot of fun. So there you go. Enough about that. Let's get into this winter celebration. There's a lot going on. We have now the tour we're in today, the holiday tour. Then we have a Penguin tour, and then a New Year's tour. So a lot going on here. Starting with the holiday tour, we have these holiday challenges. If you haven't seen, we have a video already up of White Yoshi. So we kind of break down his tracks. We break down his value. Should you put tickets on him? Should you not? Spoiler alert, maybe not. But go ahead and watch that video. We won't take too much away from that. There are tour multiplayer challenges, and that's really about the main gist of this holiday tour. Then we have a Penguin Tour, and it does look like it is taking place in Vancouver, so that'll be exciting to go back there. I think the real question, John Boy, maybe you can tell me your opinion. Do you think we'll have Vancouver as we've known it, or do you think we'll get a new path? What are your thoughts on the Penguin Tour?
You know, Studfit, I'm really hoping that we get a new variant of the new track. Vancouver coming up next tour. I mean, I know a lot of people like the normal version and we don't hardly get it a lot, but it would be nice to get a refresh of it and see what else it has to offer for us, you know? You know, it's one of my favorite city tracks, to be honest. It's the nicest looking, the music's good, the scenery's good, and I'm really looking forward to racing on it again. And I know a lot of people in the server also as well.
Yeah, Vancouver, you know, I think I like the LA Laps the most as my personal favorite city, but Vancouver is a beautiful track. I think regardless of what variation we get, it'll be a blast to have. I know that Mankalore put out a video that shows a couple different routes, including potentially going through the hockey stadium. So I know we've gone through the Sydney Opera House, and so it's not out of the realm of possibility to be going through a unique landmark like that. But I think that'll be fun. I mean, Vancouver's just awesome to be around. Now, I'm not so excited about having our fourth Penguin. I'm not a big Toadette fan in general, let alone the Penguin fan, but hey, you know what? The more Penguins, the better, I guess. To me, unless she has some kind of crazy skill, I think that's going to be an easy pass. It's weird. You know, we have a lot of Penguins in this game. If you think about different Penguins, like on Rosalina Ice World, different Penguin sliders, like the Karts, we have like this black variation, this blue variation. We have 4 drivers. We even have a Penguin wingtip. So yeah, we have a lot of Penguins. Before starting Mario Kart Tour, I didn't know Penguins were a thing really, so much as, like, you know, Tanuki and all these other variations that we're very familiar with growing up. So it'll be fun. I think that part will be nice. Then we have a New Year's 2022 tour, which there's a couple different tea leaves that we're reading here. Notice that the rewards, we have Dixie and a Banana Master and this tropical glider, all kind of DK related. Makes you wonder if we'll get a Kong, a party time Kong. So I don't know if it'll be a DK or a Diddy, but my prediction is we'll get some kind of party time Kong, and I think we're all hoping for some kind of DK variant. So this might be, I think a lot of people have been predicting that we'll have a Coinbox driver coming up. This might be it. This might blow everyone's mind, or leave us empty-handed like they have been for quite a while. But what are your thoughts on this this question mark toward this New Year's 2022?
You know, as you say that, I just had a thought pop in my head for what they could do. Mario Odyssey New Donk City.
New Donk City. Wow, okay.
And that would tie into the theme of a Donkey Kong alt.
New Donk City. And if you remember, I guess the New Year's tour, geez, what was that? The 2020 tour, that was in New York City. So New Donk, New York, yeah. I could see that happening. And
then we have the Pauline as a gift.
Pauline.
So, you know, she was also in New Donk City in Mario Odyssey. So
was she really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she's in there. She's actually in there. She's a singer in a band. Or is she I can't remember exactly.
She does have a good voice when she's like Pauline. She's crushing that E flat. No, I think that's a great idea. So it was like, what was New Donk City? Was that I'm not familiar with Odyssey. Is that in outer space? Is that a
no? It's
city?
Basically a Mario-fied version of New York City, with like all the locales changed to like Mario and Donkey Kong names, and
that's cool. So
the old Donkey Kong girders in the back where the cranes are from like the arcade Donkey Kong game from back in the 80s.
Oh, nice. So basically a fictitious city very similar to like a New York City or you know, any large metropolitan city.
It's based on New York City, but it's called New Donk City. And I think that would be pretty cool if they tied that in somehow with Mario Kart Tour, and it would fit with a Donkey Kong alt of some sort, a party time.
Oh man, I think that's an awesome idea. Geez, I'll have to give you, if you called that, I'll have to give you some major props. Good, kudos to you there. And I think it looks like we'll get some kind of new driver for placing in top ranked starting in that Penguin Tour, maybe just for that Penguin Tour. I know your thoughts were maybe a high end. My guess is a super, but I think this is a nice trend that we're getting regardless. Is like, it kind of puts a little bit more emphasis back on ranked. Every once in a while, I'll hear somebody say, like, it's just 20 rubies, it's just ranked. I'm like, man, this game is ranked. Like, this game, regardless of all cup ranking, whoever we play, if you're not doing all cup ranking and ranked, why are you playing? Is it just for fun? Like, I'd be curious to hear your opinions in the comments. But I mean, ultimately, I think ranked is a major source of how we play the game and how we want to win. So why not put a little bit more at stake? And so I think these drivers, the more that they bring in, the better. Well, let's see what kind of driver it is. We haven't really seen a lot of like recycled ones. These supers that were released, back then. I'm thinking like maybe Blue Turbo Birdo or whatever it was. Like these were like drivers that came out. Unless you finish in the top, it hasn't been really available to you since. So I wonder if they'll start to recycle those or just keep bringing in new ones. Who knows? Maybe even a pipe with some of those super drivers would be pretty cool. I know I don't have them all at level 7 yet, so we'll see how things go. All right, moving into Holiday Pipe 1. As we mentioned, those who are a big fan of Santa Bowser, you probably already pulled on this one, probably immediately. There's some interesting stuff going on here. I think that the Gift Glider, the Holiday King are some nice ones because they were new and haven't been released similarly to this Bowser Santa. But, I mean, some of these items aren't too great. Now, I think what's intriguing is this 9%. I think to have a Coinbox driver like Santa Bowser that's been as rare as he has in a 9% pipe with other really rare items is intriguing. I will say for myself, I'm staying away from this pipe, and really across all pipes of this tour, I'm not pulling at all. And so every once in a while, I think there's maybe been one other tour that's been the case, but I'm not pulling at all. JonBoy, are you pulling on this pipe?
No Studfit. I have no reason personally to pull on this pipe. I mean, I guess the only reason you would is if you don't have Santa Bowser or you don't have him at a high enough level and you have some extra rubies laying around, then I'd say go for it. But other than that, I don't think it's something that you really should be investing a whole lot of rubies into.
Yeah, I think, Jeeves, if Jeeves is looking for a crapper 10 pull to pull on, this one might be the one I'd recommend. But outside of that, yeah.
Save your hot sauce for another day, Jeeves.
A different day. Just wait till next tour, especially because I know how much he loves Vancouver. But let's get into some of these new items, right? So the Sleigh Rider we'll get into when we talk about the Week 2 pipe, this Cheer Ship, Candy Clown. Those are the 3 carts that we have new, and we'll get into the Candlelight Flight. But while we're talking about these carts, what's interesting about each of these, obviously the changing of the color, they're all reskins of other carts, but the Cheer Ship and the Candy Clown, both off of what are drivers that are normal. Actually, I think the Candy Clown is more of like the super, like the Dark Clown, etc. But regardless, all 3 of these are really small hitboxes. When I think about like the Prancer and those cards, like they have a really small hitbox. So for me, man, I thought that I liked holiday colored items, but I don't know if I really like them that much that they would be worth it. Now, I think the Candy Clown being a commemorative item brings a little bit more intrigue than others, but yeah, these are going to be, I know, like, what's interesting is that in all these pictures, sometimes the biggest carts look the smallest in these little thumbnails, and the smallest carts look really big. So, like, the Candy Clown, Cheer Ship, they look like massive, carts in these pictures, but really they're pretty teeny tiny. So I think for me, these are carts that I'm not going to be really intrigued about. I think hitbox is king. Now, I will say these holiday items, I think Halloween items used to have its own kind of stigma that they would you know, they wouldn't get buffed very much. And I'm thinking more like King Boo's, Luigi Mansion, etc. And it used to be the kind of the same thing with these holiday items. I think really the biggest unique aspect of all these holiday items, just kind of going from, you know, the 2 holidays that we've seen, is that they have been pretty rare and they haven't really been brought out throughout the year. So if you do really like these items, my guess is they probably won't come back between now and 12 months from now. So if you do like them, you know, this might be kind of, you know, quote unquote your last chance for the next 12 months. But I think for me, I'm not too worried about. I'm definitely gonna be missing out on the Sleigh Rider. You know, the Candy Clown I'll have, and it'll probably be back on my shelf for at least 10 of the next 12 months as we wrap up this this holiday tour. And then we have this Candlelight Flight, which is a bomb. It's more of a paywalled glider in that it's only available in the pack. But all these items, they have some Vanilla Lake too. Some of them have Merry Mountain in there. Some of them have Airship Fortress. A few Choco Islands for specifically this Sleigh Glider. I'm sorry, Sleigh Rider. I don't know. None of these really catch my eye. I'm not even really excited about the Candlelight Flight. Like, what's going on there? Just 2 candles and you're flying with candle. This seems like a hazard to me. But anyway, John Boy, what are your thoughts on all these new items?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. And looking at the tracks, I think I have most of these tracks covered. As far as the Candy Clown, I have been using it in multiplayer because that's where you do want to hit small hitbox.
That's a good point.
And it does handle very well, so I've been kind of liking it, and it's an excuse for me to put base points on it. But yeah, I think they kind of do this with seasonal items. They, you know, you get to use them like maybe once or twice a year for a couple tours, and then they just go on the shelf. And then, you know, you kind of forget about them, and then they just come up in that odd random rank cup every now and then. But for the most part, like you said, they're seasonal, they're holiday items. They're going to come back next year, probably in a pipe or in a pack or whatever. And that's going to be about the end of it. Yeah,
I will say, this is kind of an off topic, but just to let you know, I remember some color theory. I remember the color wheel, and you know, they had complementary colors and all this. I remember taking a class, an art class. They did talk about red being actually the color that your eyes are drawn to the most. I don't know if you feel this way at all with multiplayer, but it almost would be better to have like a green cart, a small green cart, or a small blue cart, and that they are much more like. No, I'm serious. Like when our eyes see the color red, we think like alarming. We think fire, and so as compared to when we see green or when we see blue, it's actually more calming. And so you might actually, subconsciously, as you're playing multiplayer, you might see this Candy Clown and actually, you know, feel like it's a threat. So anyway, fun little off topic there. Do you believe that or not?
If I'm perfectly honest, I don't even look at what they're driving. I just look at their name tag. And if it's not the same color as mine, I'm just going to hit them anyway.
Hey, I mean, you play more multiplayer and much better at that than me, so I would take your advice and not mine. But yeah, I think overall,
you know, if my teammate flies by on a Candy Clown, I'm not gonna shoot at him.
There you go. Well, in wrapping up this slide, I mean, I just think these items, they're silly. They're collector's items. If you want to get them, go for it. But this might be your last chance. Moving into, we've actually had some switch up here in the non-spotlight drivers. These are most common, also available in the all clear pipe. So for those who are watching this, you might have pulled this a day or two ago, because now Peach Wintertime is available in 100 pipes based on the information that we're looking at here, as well as also on the Karts, the Lime T-Coupe. Which I know the regular T-Coupe is super, so this is the only version of it that we have as a high-end, especially nice to have as a permanent cart. But again, we have so many carts, it's not worth getting excited about. But I think the biggest change for us is the Daisy Glider, and most importantly, the black toe beam balloons. The black toe beam balloons obviously being in our top 10 really for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now. So to have that in this 100 pipe is good. I think in general, the way people should be approaching pipes like this is that you know, like a free to play or gold pass only. These are great cards to invest in because you have the potential to pull in these 100 pipes and level it up. Again, you know, you may not be pulling 100 pipes that often, but when you do, or, you know, all clear pipes as an example too, you know, it'll help you level it up. So that coverage, when, you know, if you're double uncapping it and you have a level 4, you know, getting it to level 5 is only going to help that. So I think for most gold pass only and free to play, like those, the black toe beam balloons is actually probably you're probably less likely to hit that ceiling of level 7. Whereas for the whales like myself and JonBoy, you know, I think this would actually, you know, make me be a little bit more hesitant to put or to invest in the black toe beam balloons, knowing that I could potentially be wasting it and only getting coins in return. But I think it's really good to note that those are now in the 100 pipes and worth keeping track of. As we look at the week 2 pipes, you know, same 9% odds, but just different holiday items. Again, you know, it's like, how many things can we have that are red and green? I'm just kind of over it, to be honest with you. They all kind of start to blend together. We only get to use them really once a year, and they just all kind of look the same. I will say the Sleigh Rider is the one that is new. Jolly Bells and the Glitter Glider, those are nice gliders in that I believe they're both coin gliders. So I think a lot of people are attracted to those. Holiday Cheer, she's been a beast. If you remember last winter, she was only available in a pack. So unless you got that pack last year or pulled her 2 years ago, this would be your time to use her. Now, she has had some amazing beefy value this year. It's been crazy how much they've been priming her for the last 2 or 3 months, getting you ready for this pipe. And if you don't have her already, this might be a good pipe for you to go into as well. I actually think that Yoshi Reindeer, and really all the Yoshis, that Yoshi egg is actually a sneaky skill, a very undervalued skill. You know, it's kind of like a red shell, but then it because it automatically hits somebody, but it also shoots out a mushroom, also sends out a banana. It could also get some additional hits, and it's guaranteed. It's kind of like a Lucky 7 Frenzy when you have it in the Frenzy mode. So. Yeah, I think overall, you know, if you already have Bowser Santa level 7, you don't have Daisy, but maybe you don't have Daisy Holiday Cheer, this might be a decent pipe for you to do that Crap Pretend pull. To me, this is probably what I'm passing on. Obviously, as I mentioned, I'm trying to go through this whole tour without pulling. But JonBoy, what are your thoughts on this week 2 pipe?
Yeah, man. You know, Daisy Holiday Cheer actually came in clutch the last couple tours, being in Rain Cup. I have her at level 7, single uncapped. Yoshi Reindeer isn't too valuable for me. I'm probably still going to pull just to have the new cart, but I'm not going to, you know, sink a hole. I'm not trying to empty it or anything, you know.
Yeah, I think the Sleigh Rider, as much as I've been dogging it already, I do like the way that the Prancer looks and like having the 2 horse head, you know, things going out. It's a small hitbox, so for me, it's not gonna be a cart that I'm going into.
Fun fact: the Mario Kart 8 version, the heads actually gallop and move as you're driving.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Wish they would. You know how like we saw the ship's wheel and, you know, kind of doing its motions. That'd be great if they started having carts doing a little bit more going on.
I like my CPU on my phone too, so.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. All right, and then finally, the last pipe that we'll talk about, this Coinbox pipe. Most of you have probably already pulled onto it, but it's a 50 pipe with all Coinboxers. Now, seeing all these Coinboxers, especially even in new ones like Kamek, I think this is a great pipe for newer players, free-to-play players, Gold Pass only players. Now, the downside is that there's only 3 high ends in there and there's no spotlights. So that is a major negative if you think about going in for an item, and you know, especially these free-to-play Gold Pass only. You know, let's say they have you know, something in the 200, 300 rubies, and they're going for Kamek. There's no guarantee that you'll get them, and so those people might have some struggles in trying to get what they want. And then when you think about 6% odds, it's not really one that I mean, really, even after 2 10 pulls, you're you should have probably only gotten one high end. You're really kind of just tying the pipe right there. You're barely beating it. So actually, in that case, you would have like had 12% chance of getting a high end, and if you got one, that's obviously not great. So I think overall, this is one that if you need an item and you have a lot of rubies, go for it. Maybe if you're like a new whale, not necessarily like a gold pass only player, but like a new whale. I think this is a great way to catch up, and I think that Nintendo is doing a lot, to be able to help out new players and be able to get them caught up. I mean, I think our server specifically, we have a probably a 60% whale respected community, and I think almost everybody passed on it. I think it was pretty quiet. I think I heard eDeedle and some others had like some side accounts that they were pulling on, but I think in general this is a great pipe to get caught up. But I think most people who are playing the meta level strategy, they already have a lot of these Coinboxers at level 7. And probably are tempted to hold out. And maybe, I know from talking with Tabor, who again is much more on the Gold Pass Plus side of things, he said, I'm going to wait till New Year, so there's going to be better odds. I already have some of these things. I just, I'm not going to get what I want anyway. So I think in general, this is an amazing pipe, but ... I think a lot of people are passing on it. What are your thoughts, JonBoy? Did you pull on this pipe?
No, sir, I did not pull on this pipe. I would not pull on this pipe. Not in a million years I would pull on this pipe. I mean, it would just be coins after coins after coins, whale problems, as they say. But like you said, free to play, gold pass, newer players. But be warned, you're not guaranteed anything. You could get Koopa free running like 50 times, and that'd be the end of that. But yeah, pull at your own risk.
Yeah. Tabor said it's actually ranked 29th on his list. The coins per ruby rate is actually super low. So it's 389 coins per ruby, when a standard 100 pipe is 354. So he specifically uses the word trash to describe this pipe. So yeah, I think overall it's got great items. It's for a new whale, it's a great pipe to go into and drain multiple times. But I think there's going to be a lot of hesitancy because of the non-spotlights and because of the low odds. So
and you know how they do it on New Year's. They're going to give us a 12% pipe, and everybody's going to lose their mind.
Oh yeah. Yep, and I'm sure it'll have Hakama in it too. So for what it's worth,
you mean the most useless Coinbox driver aside from Party Time Pauline, which will probably also be in there.
Probably also be in there too. Yeah. Well, I mean, like these are the best. Arguably some of the best Coinboxers. I mean, I think you put if you had to put a top 5 Coinboxers, JonBoy, who would those be?
All right, King Babam was my number 1 for a long time. I think Kamek's got to have that number 2 spot, even though his hitbox is a little smaller. Go King Boo, and I know PGP is not on here, but she's got to be up there. She's in the normal pipe. You can get her relatively easy, and a lot of people already have her level 7 triple cap. So, Dry Bones would probably be around number 4 on my list, and free running would probably round out the top 6.
Okay, I would agree with most of that. I would throw Swimwear in there just because of her hitbox and how big she is. But I would probably maybe switch out her with maybe PGP or Gold Cooper free running. I would probably
they do her and PGP do share a lot of tracks.
Yeah, so I would have King Babam because of his hitbox and Kameka I'd probably put there, and then probably Dry Bones Gold, and then I know everyone's probably gonna say I'm contradicting myself because Dry Bones Gold is small hitbox, but he has a lot of exclusive tracks when you think about the Bowser's Castles and other stuff. So I think it just, in my opinion.
The other thing that brings Dry Bones Gold's value down is he has a lot of RT tracks, and those don't come up that often.
Well, we've seen him a lot more recently, and they've they've been basically adding RT track after RT track almost every single tour. So I think we're getting much more blended rate of RTs in there. But I understand that argument. I would probably say that 4 out of the 5 here are top 5. I maybe switch out Gold Cooper free running for swimwear, and that would be my top 5. And I'd say the other 4 are good plays. So you know, depending on your opinion, and I appreciate you kind of going through your thought process, but you know, these are some of the 5 best Coinboxers. So you can't really argue too much about that. I think, you know, really I'd put maybe all 5 of these better than Bowser Santa. But if you don't have them, like I think you have to go for them. So you know, for what it's worth, you know, there are some good Coinboxers, and so I think if you look at a New Year's pipe, I mean, unless they have the same exact 5, you know, and plus Hakama, and I don't know what else they're going to put in a pipe like that to make it more attractive. But I think everyone who's going to pull on this pipe has already pulled on it. So maybe we move forward. For those new whales, maybe you have been debating on which packs to get in order to pull on those pipes, and I've had a lot of people ask me to just put these stud and duds back in there. So you know what? I'll fight the haters week after week, saying for those who say, "Hey, I can't believe that's a dud and now it's a stud." And guys, this is for fun. We just like having some things to talk about, and I'm not afraid to bring things back, like I have with the strat of the week. And there's times where people need a break. You got your break. I think I proved my point, and here they are back. I'd say anytime you have a driver in a 45 ruby pack, that's going to be a stud pack, especially if it's a stud, specifically if it's a top skill. So I think Nabbit, you know, his time has come and gone. He's got a lot of Coinbox overlap. I get it. But I still think he's a stud. Anytime you have a Lucky 7 driver, a Coinbox driver in a 45 ruby pack, I mean, I think it's an easy stud for me. And then when you're thinking about the Crawley cart, that's a phenomenal card, great hitbox, and then you have the top driver in the game. That's an easy stud. That's like a super stud for sure. And then looking at the week 2 pipes, we've already talked about this cart, this cheer ship. It's a small hitbox. It's okay. I'm not as excited about it, man. Anytime we have so many carts, so I think anytime you have a cart in a 45 ruby pack, you have to kind of think twice, unless it's a super hitbox or unless it's something with like amazing coverage. I think it's gonna be a dud. Now here's the thing: is it's gonna, you know, you're gonna have if we're wrong, we have 12 months of kicking ourselves. So I personally will get it maybe once, and that is it. And then we have the last pack here, the 90 ruby pack with Ice Mario and this Candlelight glider that we've already talked about. That's a Bob-omb Plus. I'm going to probably regretfully get this once, and I'll get the coins for Ice Mario, but I'll get the glider just to say I have it. And so I will get probably one of each of those packs, and that is it. No week 1 pack for me. And so I'm not pulling, and I'm just getting these 2 packs, and it just kind of shows you how much Nintendo is really helping new players get caught up. You know, even though these 2 are studs, I already have, you know, these items pretty high level. You know, Crawley Cart's at 7, Nabbit's at 7, so don't need those. Blackbird wouldn't be worth just leveling up to get that pack. So I know that there are some people get the packs every tour regardless, you know, and that's perfectly fine. You don't need my advice to do that. But I think just in general, these are kind of the way I would divvy these up. What are your thoughts there, John Boy?
You know, I second you, man. I mean, I got Natt at level 7. I got the Crawley cart level 7. I don't need anything out of week 1 pipe. I don't need any of these packs. And like you, I'm probably just going to get them to say I have them for week 2, and they're probably just going to sit on the shelf for 12 more months.
Yeah, and I'll let you know, you are allowed to disagree with me. I know I know you're happy to be here and everything, but we seem to be agreeing on most of these pipes, most of these packs. And I think that's in general. That's the downside of you know, what I kind of mentioned at the very beginning. And this is kind of a filler tour. I think we probably feel the most, you know, probably very similar about most of these items, because it's just it's kind of a hard pass tour. Outside of Merry Mountain, I'm not having a lot of fun on the Vanilla Lake.
Oh no! Don't even get me started on Vanilla Lake. I mean,
love Vanilla Lake, you know you do.
I love it to death, and I will die getting a run on that track if it kills me.
Man, I spent so much time
I'm
on that
probably
track.
going to get my badge and call it a day. I'm probably going to grind maybe 2 more hours of ACR and just say, you know what, I've done enough.
I remember you saying that you were going to be going for a top 10 here soon. You probably saw this Vanilla Lake track. It was like, F that.
Yeah, nope. Nope.
I'm not doing that.
I need a little bit more ticket inventory, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they're going to be releasing a new Coinbox driver soon. And my plan was, if it's a good tour with good tracks, I'm probably going to have enough to take him straight to 7 and recap him and let her rip Tater Chip and see what happens.
I like it. That's a good, great idea. I love it. Going into the buffs, so we got some drivers with some buffs. Most notably, one of my favorite looking drivers, Waluigi Vampire, Bowser's Castle 1, Merry Mountain T, and Merry Mountain RT. So he's got 15 non-city tracks, 2 cities. That's pretty good for a driver that's relatively recent. I will say Kangaroo Yoshi, aka Bounce, a massive 27 total tracks. He's got 10, of course 10 of those are cities, so you kind of take that with a grain of salt. But man, Koopa Troopa Beach R, Koopa Troopa Beach T, Merry Mountain RT, 3 decent tracks for him. Man, I absolutely love him. I think he's going to end up being the better boomerang driver when you think about him versus Ninja. Now, of course, he's got a lot of cities. I get that. But, man, these are just so I mean, for those who love the grind of Boombox, and I will say, I've been grinding Boombox more frequently. And it's actually not that bad. I think that the grind of it is just very different. And it can be just a little bit more mentally grinding. But actually, I don't think it takes as long. Now, you could totally walk away from X amount of time grinding a track, but I think that the main key to boomerang / boomboxing a track is realizing that a Coinbox driver that is on a track is not an aggressive bot. And so sometimes we get this, like it might be, say, like Swimwear Rosalina, and she's in like the first block and we're in block 6 or 7. And so in our minds, we're like, this is perfect. But then, she stall starts and she goofs around and she never gets to the item box in first. And so I think there's times where we have to abandon ship and just say, hey, you know what? I'm not getting it on this track. I'm going to switch stuff up. I'm going to reshuffle the drivers. I know I'm in the perfect spot, but I'm just not going to get it from this driver. That is so hard to accept. That is such a defeating moment when you're like, you know what? I could keep grinding this for another hour, but I'm not. That person's not going to get through that item box in the right place. And so I think that's just so hard to walk away from. But I think if people did walk away from it, they would have more success with the boomerang, the boombox frenzy. So that would be my piece of advice. Is I've actually had a lot of fun. For All Cup ranking, I got a boombox banana coin frenzy with Ninja on Chaco Mountain R. And it's actually one of my highlights of the tour already. So it can happen. I think you just have to realize and accept what happens with that loadout. And then we have Mario Kart, which actually I think is a really sneaky driver. He's got 0 cities, 12 non-cities. And actually, he kind of has taken a lot of. I think he took over Classic Luigi's 2 exclusive tracks that he had, and then he's had a lot of overlap with Peach Happy. He's had a lot of all the tracks that he's been getting, which is really surprising for Mario. We're used to seeing him not get very much value, and seeing him get shafted. But I've actually really been loving all the tracks that he has. I think for All Cup ranking, I think I'm using him like 5 times, which is substantial. I mean, anytime you're using a driver 5 times, that's a good sign. So, and who knows, maybe it's just the luck of which tracks we have here. But I actually expect big things from Mario Kart, and for no cities, that's a great way to start. So those are the 3 drivers that got 3 buffs. Moving to the drivers that got 2 buffs, I'll probably skip through some of these. I will say Tanuki Rosalina, she's got 0 cities and 18 non-city tracks. Now, of course, the 2 tracks that she gets is Vanilla Lake 2 and Vanilla Lake 2T. But I think that the prophecy that she would be the better of the 2 Tanukis is coming into fruition. Nice to see her there. And then you got 2 super drivers here, Pink Yoshi and then the yellow Pit Crew Toad. Both getting some nice little buffs here. Pink Yoshi with 10 non-city tracks, 5 cities, and then yellow Pit Crew Toad, obviously with that giant banana. So fun to use. 7 non-city tracks, 0 cities. Other notes, Kamek is beasting it up. I think he is on his way to being the #1 driver in the game. It's a matter of time, in my opinion. He's got 18 non-city tracks, 7 cities. I think for a Coinbox, the number of cities is always kind of being stifled. That they specifically go out of their way to give maybe 20 to 25 tracks to a Coinbox driver. So for him already to be at 25 is great. Happy for him. If you think about some of the Coinbox drivers that have been out there, Mario Tuxedo is really the only one that's been kind of spanking his butt there. He's if you look here at the drivers that got 1 buff, he's up to 27 total tracks. So just kind of looking there, I've actually been really enjoying Mario Tuxedo's coverage too, and I think who knows. I'm starting to reevaluate my top 5 Coinboxers already. But I think that Kamek is on the rise is my point there. And for him to have 18 non-city tracks and 7 cities is great for him. Now, Bowser's Castle 1T, some might argue is not the best track to have. But I think he's been getting the right buffs, and I don't think he's stopping. I'm going to continue to see buffs from him. Now, Daisy Holiday Cheer. Interesting to see her 2 buffs. Up to 17 non-city tracks, 5 cities. So she really only has a total of 22 total tracks. But as you can see, they've been pumping her full of ranked and making her of good use. Your girl, Peach Happy. She's got 19 non-city tracks, 8 city tracks for a total of 27 tracks. That's good for her. Nice to have Merry Mountain T and Merry Mountain RT. Now, the downside is, some of those tracks have some other coverage with others' top skills, but I think if you did invest in Peach Happy, I don't think you're regretting it. I just think that value is starting to wane. She started off so hot, man. She really did. So it's interesting to see how she's going forward. It's nice that she's still getting buffed though. Good signs there, and she's number 4 on our list, as you can already see there. For the drivers that got 1 buff, kind of already alluded to Mario Tuxedo. Much better buffs than Mario Tanuki, who is at 16 non-city tracks, 0 cities. You get a couple penguins with some buffs there as well. White Yoshi obviously being a part of the reward. He's up to now, as we kind of alluded to in the Driver of the Week segment this past week, up to 32 total tracks. But again, a lot of cities, a lot of Coinbox overlap, but and really only 1 exclusive track that we would call it with Choco Island. Berto Black continues to see the crazy buffs. We're talking about 34 total tracks, an absolute beast. And then, of course, Peach Wintertime and Bowser Santa to get some buffs there. Of course, being wintertime holiday related. Luigi Painter getting Merry Mountain, that was nice for him. I think just across the board, this is really the first time that Merry Mountain is coming back again. I think it was re-released maybe once between now and last winter time. So you're seeing a lot of drivers that came out this summer get finally this buff to Merry Mountain. So a decent number of buffings here for drivers. But John Boy, enough of me here from me. What are your thoughts on who got buffs? Anything stick out to you?
I'm liking Yoshi Kangaroo. And all those tracks that he did get have multiple Coinbox drivers as second shelf, so more chances for you to get that boombox, especially when you spawn in and there's 2 or 3 Coinbox drivers in your race. So that makes it a lot easier on the grind time, especially like you said, and having to restart the room just to get the right positioning and the right drivers in the right spots and make sure they're doing what they're doing. And Satellaview, I took him to 7, double capped immediately, so it's nice to see that investment going to pay off for me. And Kamek getting buffed, that makes me happy because, I invested heavily into him when he came out. And I know we pick on Toilet Paper Mario, but it's still nice to see him getting buffed.
Yeah, he's been nice. Anything else stick out? What about these 3 supers, man? Have you done anything with any of these 3?
I got them leveled up, but I use not White Yoshi, Pink Yoshi, maybe a multiplayer for the Heart skill. So he is at level 5 for the Heart Plus. I think I played around with Yellow Toad, but nothing too serious. But other than that, I think we got everything pretty well covered.
Yeah, no, I like it. I know you're a big fan of Peach Happy. How do you feel about her buffs since she was released this summer?
I mean, I did kind of invest in her a little late, and she's been good for me. She's covered me on some tracks I didn't exactly, especially those non-Coinbox tracks where I had maybe like a Penguin Toad or something, and I'm like, I really don't want to use this. And, she was a better option, so I gave her some love, and now she's coming back and paying off. And to be honest with you, the Merry Mountain tracks, they're not exactly good for Coinbox because of the terrain. There's only certain parts of the track where you can actually utilize the Coinbox the way you need to get the maximum amount of coins as possible. Especially on the reverse version where you're going up the hill and you get a Coinbox frenzy, like you say on the first box, and it's just, there goes all my coins behind me. Everybody's picking them up, money on the ground, and you're just like, oh man,
That's actually a really good point, especially with the super half pipe. You can go up that 2 times. I haven't been able to go up 3 times, but like getting that stall and being able to fall at a certain place so that you're crushing a lucky 7 frenzy going down the hill, like that makes a lot of sense. From that respect, like just getting those additional half pipe actions and being willing to just accept that you'd want to be in 7th place, and
I think Yoshi Kangaroo has the boomerang on that track as well, and there's all those coins at the top of that half pipe. So if you get a boomerang frenzy,
the RT,
on the first box, and you just carry it up the hill, and you go up that half pipe, and you just swipe all those coins, and you're just taking everybody out with you.
Yeah, and I think that's one of my favorite parts that Nintendo is doing with the game is making some tracks more boomerang friendly. You don't even need necessarily like a Coinbox driver on that track. You just need a boomerang frenzy at the right place at the right time. Same way with like Ninja Hideaway, that little second level there, just having all those coins and just crushing it. So yeah, it's interesting to see how they're kind of changing the game and making them much more friendly for these boomerangs.
You're kind of like when they did Sydney 2 and you had the glider section with the big giant ring of coins. Yep.
Yeah, really good point. I even got a nice little boomerang frenzy on Chaco Mountain R with Ninja, and that was really nice too. Moving into carts, there's a lot of carts, man. So many carts. Right when we had enough carts and cart buffs, look at this slide. I mean, kudos to Marco for the hard work here. He slaved over this slide. There's so much going on here. It's ridiculous. All right, so let me try to do it respect and kind of point out some things, but I'm probably not gonna talk about each of these. Thank God. First of all, Gold Pumpkin Cart, the only with 4 buffs. It's up to 19 non-city tracks, 1 city track. So that is phenomenal to have 20 tracks already. 19 of them non-cities. That's really, really good. Now, of course, I'm not a big fan of the cart itself. In fact, I don't even have it. Just because of like the hitbox and that pipe scared the crap out of me, to be honest with you. But anyway, 19 to already have 19 non-city tracks is phenomenal. This is a great card for what they're doing it, and I think it's more of a testimony to the new items that were released in a special pipe. I think anytime you have a new item in a special pipe, it is going to see this kind of value. And that's now, is it going to be the number one? No, but I think, or is it going to be the number one cart or glider or driver? You know, have these new items that come out in these special pipes. Maybe, maybe not. I think they're the most consistently in the top 10, or most consistently going to be a great value. But I also don't think that, you know, it's not a home run. It's always, it's a solid triple every single time. It's my takeaway from it. 3 carts got 3 buffs. We got Cactar, Red Crawley Cart, and Yellow Off-Roader. All in like that the low teens when it comes to non-city tracks. The Red Crawley Cart did get 2 cities, but the other 2 0 cities, which is really nice. Obviously the Yellow Off-Roader and the Red Crawley Cart, 2 awesome hitboxes. Two of the largest, some of the largest carts in the game. Moving into the carts that got 2 buffs. We got Karim B Dasher, Green B Dasher, Sky Blue B Dasher. Those are the 3 B Dashers that got buffed. All kind of neck and neck. All 3 of them with 8 cities. I will say the Sky Blue up to 12 non-city tracks. That's a total of 20 tracks already, leading the way of these 3 B Dashers. I will say the Cream B Dasher is coming in pretty handy this tour. I already took mine to level 7. I've been debating on uncapping it, and I will say, you know, with Vancouver coming up next tour, I could see this Cream B Dasher being even more valuable next tour, as it seemed to have a lot of Vancouver tracks already. I could see that continuing that trend. We got Ice Dozer, which a little preemptively got excited about. I think I even used that as a stud, and I actually got crushed, like crushed ice, for doing it. So, but it's got 13 non-city tracks, 6 cities. I think it's still a great cart. I love all the dozers, and it's a love that it's unconditional, and I'm not afraid to shout for the rooftops. I love the dozers. Luna Cruiser, for those who invested in it, 0 cities, which is phenomenal. 10 non-city tracks. Here are the 2 that I want to point out on this whole slide. I think these are the most in tune to talk about: the Silver King and the Vampire Flyer. I want to each give them their own respect in their own way. Silver King, a phenomenal cart. We saw Jeeves on Kart Talk take his to triple on cap. It's a great cart, phenomenal cart. Those who invested in it, you knew it was going to be a great cart, and you're definitely you're grip walking all the way to the bank. I'll tell you that. With 20 non-city tracks, 7 cities, number 2 on our list. A phenomenal cart. I think, you know, we were kind of getting excited about these week 2 carts that were exclusive. I know Frenzy fans went bonkers for it. A lot of people did. Great to see it number 2 on our list. It's a beautiful cart, awesome cart. Now, my personal favorite cart that I've been using, this Vampire Flyer. It's got 14 non-city tracks, 1 city. Not great. But it's getting all the right buffs. It's got a great hitbox. I think the only downside is that it does have some other overlap with, say, like the regular Crawley cart or other carts that I have. Some Black Dozer, some other stuff that I already have at a high level. But outside of the ones that have overlap, all the ones that I'm using it for are phenomenal. So I personally see that this Vampire Flyer moving from number 9 and moving up this list. So both really excited about these 2 carts. If you have to put tickets on them, go for it. I love both of those moves. And then we have the Blue Turbo Birdo there with 10 non-cities, 5 cities. Okay. All these carts with 1 buff. We'll point out the Cact Ice is number 15 on our list. It's up to 17 non-city tracks, 3 cities. I'll kind of skim around. We got the Zoom Broom, number 5 on our list. It's got 19 non-city tracks, 5 cities. We got the Romby Runner, 22 non-city tracks, 5 cities. That's a total of 27 tracks. That's a great number of tracks for the Romby Runner. I don't have to tell you that. That's a great cart to invest in as well. The Pink Dozer, 15 non-city tracks, 7 cities. A great cart. I love my 595, mainly because it's Jump Boost Plus and it has a lot of trick tracks. So that's always a great combo there. Some B Dashers get some buffs here. The Rose Taxi, up to 25 total tracks, 20 non-cities. And then the Secura Quick Shot we've seen in the top 10 for quite some time. 21 non-city tracks, 3 cities. It's a low number of cities. We like to see that. And then Tanuki Kart. I know this is one that Sammy invested in pretty early. 17 non-city tracks, 0 cities. A great cart to invest in as well. All right, John Boy. That's a lot of carts. What are your thoughts on some of these carts, man?
It's too many carts, man. Just too many carts. But here's the debate that's been going on for a while. But it looks like we're at a tie. The Cactar or the Yellow Off-Roader. I remember when they came out, everybody would say, okay, one of these carts is going to get crazy buffs. And they're both good carts. They both have a decent hitbox. But right now, it looks like they're tied, man.
They're literally tied.
13. They're literally tied. So, you know, I think they're both good to invest in, and I think they're going to continue to get in the future. I know a lot of people went crazy over that gold pumpkin because they thought it was going to get buffed, and they wasted a bunch of rubies on that pipe and didn't get it. And
R.I.P. man. That's
that's
what happens when there's no spotlights.
King, you know, after that Kart Talk episode, I think that thing, it was already huge, but I think that Kart Talk episode just, just raised the bar for it. I mean, I know a lot of people. Angelita, I talked her into taking hers to 700.
That's awesome.
I talked a couple other people to taking it up. And your favorite cart, I know I'm looking at that, and I haven't invested in it yet, but I'm considering it. As far as the plus ones, I already have the Cacti at level 7, double uncapped. The Decal Streamliner's been coming up quite a bit recently for some of these cheap
the
islands.
Decal?
And the Decal, yeah.
Okay.
It's single uncapped, but it's level 7, and it's actually came up for me quite a bit. Ramby Runner, I recently took it to 7 double uncapped, and it's been doing pretty good for me.
Yep.
I think maybe the Tanuki cart I might invest in the future if it gets buffed a little bit more.
Yeah, it's seems to be getting the right buffs. The Decal Streamer, I haven't really been. I mean, I have it at like a medium level, but when I look at it, five cities, 15 non-cities.
I mean, when it came out, I mean, that was when that came out. That was around the time that I think the level 7 update happened.
Yeah. And
I went pretty hard into those pipes that came out after that period. Yeah. So, just to get a jump on the level 7s, max out all those supers and commons and stuff. And it just ended up there in level, So, it's not like I just purposely put tickets into it. I just pulled it a ridiculous amount of times. We won't talk about how many rubies we spent. that dozer pipe that came out, I probably spent like 2,000 rubies on. So yeah, that explains that one.
It's a lot of rubies.
We don't talk about it.
All right, we'll move on to gliders then. A lot less gliders got buffed than the carts. Holy moly. We had so many carts get buffed. That's crazy. So a total of 5 gliders got 3 buffs. And so 8-bit Super Mushroom, up to 14 non-city tracks to 0 cities. Golden Wings, 15 non-city tracks, 1 city. It's okay. But Dream Glider, man, this is the one that catches my eye. 23 non-city tracks, 3 cities. The #1 glider in the game. All the Kamek items have been going bonkers, but the Dream Glider, I think we all saw it kind of take an early lead, and it's cashed in, man. #1 glider in the game. That's phenomenal. Ship's Wheel, obviously seeing some similar success. This is where I'm kind of talking about the special items that were released, the new items that were in special pipes. Solid triple every single time. Always a triple. It's not a home run. These home runs would be like the Silver King, or the Black Great Sale, like just absolute bonkers home runs. But you can't. It's so hard to pick those. But new items and special pipes, always a triple, always great value. But maybe not the best value. But it's so hard to pick the diamonds in the rough. Pink Gold Meteors, obviously released last tour. 11 non-city tracks, 0 cities. Those are the gliders that got 3 buffs. For the ones that got 2 buffs, we're talking about the Glitter Glider, Magic Parasol, Meteor Balloons, Polka Dot Manta Glider, the Rose Parasol, which I think is a really good one to point out. I think it's Antilev's favorite glider. I actually debated double uncapping it. Decided not to. Actually, I decided to double uncap the Galaxy Glider and take that to 7 instead. So, but I know Antilev loves the Rose Parasol. It's up to 30 total tracks. Number 13 on the list, we have Springtime Crane. Number 10 on our list with 21 non-city tracks, 8 cities. Obviously, a glider that's snuck by because we saw it in the summer celebration, even though it was springtime. And then my least favorite looking glider in the game, this Yukata ribbon. It's just a ribbon that's blue and gold, and that's all it. That's all I see. Now people ask me, hey, Galaxy Glider, you like that so much, but it's literally the same shape. Hey, listen, you put that glider collage on literally any shape, I would love it. You put it on a flower, you put it on a, looking here at the list, like, you put it on anything and it looks awesome. So that's my argument, and I think that I think you can understand when you see that Galaxy collage, you know it looks freaking awesome. Black Tow Beam Balloons, we've talked about this a little bit already. It's number 2 on our list. It's got 22 non-city tracks, 6 cities there. Phenomenal glider. Now that's in the all-clear pipe and in 100 pipes in general, it's one definitely worth investing in. I know I have mine at $595. I overlooked it at first, but it's a great glider. Flying Easel. I kind of point that one out. 17 non-city tracks, 11 cities there. Galaxy Glider, 9 non-cities, 0 cities. Not great buffs this tour. That's okay. I'm not expecting much from it right away. But I do see some Vancouver. I could see some Vancouver buffs for sure for it. The Gift Glider, 14 non-city tracks, 3 cities. Glinting Glider. This is what we talked about in the pipe. 20. Actually. Yeah, I think it's in the pipe. 20 non-city tracks, 8 cities. Number 2 on our list, and a coin glider, so that's a great one to invest in. Home Field, the Gold Home Field Glider, 16 non-city tracks. Looks like 9 cities, so a lot of cities, but great coverage there. I think pretty decent. Looks like I'm trying to see the number 9 on our list. Gold Tanuki Parafol, really slow to take off there. 12 non-city tracks, 1 city. Really everything else I can skim across. I think that a lot of people got excited about the snow crystals from this last pipe. It's still kind of got a slow, probably gradual buffing if more buffing even comes to it. It's got 18 non-city tracks, 5 cities, so only a total of 23 tracks for as long as it's been out. Tanuki Parafoil, 1 city, 15 non-city tracks, and then Vampire Wings, 14 non-city tracks, 1 city. Everything else, not too excited about. Just kind of looking over it, I think what stands out for these ones that were 1 buff, Black Tow Beam Balloons. It's like one of those rich keeps getting richer. Glintic Glider, nice to see that one go up, but. Yeah, definitely a lot less than the Karts, but some nice buffs here. What are your thoughts on this, John Boy?
You know, I'm embarrassed to say it, but 3 of these gliders I do not have.
Ooh.
You won't believe which ones. I don't have the Dream Glider.
No way.
I didn't. No, you won't believe what I did. I did something really foolish. So I had enough rubies to drain the pipe, right?
Okay.
So I go down to 50 left. I get Kamek.
Okay.
And then I reset the pipe. I go down to like.
I assume you got other stuff in that too, right?
Yeah, I got other stuff in that too.
Yeah.
But no, I kept resetting the pipe and I ran out of rubies and I got everything but the glider. So I was kicking myself. And the Glinting Glider, the tiara looking one, I was gonna buy it, and then I completely forgot about it. And it was the last day, and Angelita's like, "Hey John, did you buy that glider?" I'm like, "Oh shoot, I didn't buy the glider." By the time I got back to getting the glider to buy it, it was reset and it was gone forever. And I'm like, she's not let me down for that. She's been saying, oh yeah, you didn't buy it, and I reminded you, and you still forgot. And I purposely didn't buy the Magic Parasol. So yeah, I'm missing out. I'm good on gliders though. I really haven't had any trouble making coverage or anything. But fun facts, I don't have everything in the game like everybody thinks I do.
There you go. Well, one of these is not number 2 on our list. I think this this black raid seal might be the balloons. Actually, let me just look here. Balloons are 2, glinting gliders 3.
Yeah, I'm missing 1 and 3.
So glinting glider. Sorry about that. I apologize. Little typo there. So there we go. It is corrected. But yeah, man. Well, I'm sorry you missed out on it. It's it's only number 3 on our list, not number 2. But it's one of those things, like, especially when I open up the shop, like, I have to buy the tickets there in my shop immediately because I know I will forget about it. In fact, I've been forgetting to do a lot of things here lately. I've been forgetting to do
and coins.
Yeah, I haven't been very diligent about sending coins. I'm like, I just sent coins yesterday, like, yeah, because it is. I just been forgetting about it.
They still need to send all.
Oh
done.
Man, a send all button, that would be like a great request. Right behind adding more friends. I would love to have 100 friends. That'd be my number 1
I would
request.
love to have 100 friends, but I don't want to send 100 friends coins. You can just forget about it.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Actually, I would just purposely forget about it, you know?
Well, I will say, I think one of the things that mentally probably jinxes me is that when I want to give somebody a coin, I'm like, I don't want to give one person a coin, but then not somebody else. So I know that if I'm going to give one person a coin, I'm going to give everybody a coin. I'm going to just dedicate the time. So, but I know that takes like 5 minutes. I know 5 minutes isn't that much, but I'm like,
I mean, you just be in the bathroom, you know, taking care of your business. You know,
I know. I do it like while I'm waiting to drop off my son in the school lane and stuff like that. But there's other times where I'm like running late and I'm like, I just don't do it. But the main thing is I feel like this 5 minutes is like, I can't just dedicate 2 minutes to it. I have to send everybody coins. So it's like it becomes much more daunting in my mind. So yeah, maybe 100 friends would make it even more daunting.
I mean, when you're guys like us that, you know, work long hours and we spend a lot of time doing other things besides playing Mario Kart, you know. I mean, that little bit of time that you're not able to grind, it's like, man, you know, that could have been a run or something. But no, I'm stuck here spending coins, you know, because it takes 50 years.
Yeah, but I need to do a better job. So I apologize to all those my friend list. I used to be really good.
I apologize to my friends too, because I know, well, normally people don't have me on their friends list because I send coins. Usually they're eyeballing what scores I have. So,
well, I will say some people that add me as a friend like are really excited about seeing what I do is just because I have a channel. But I need to do right by them. I need to send them coins. So I will do a much better job in 2022 to send you coins. How about that?
That's your New Year's resolution.
There you go.
I will do a better job of sending coins.
Yeah. Just know that if I didn't send you coins, it's nothing personal. I didn't send it to everybody. I didn't send it to anybody. So going into the top 10, no changes here as compared to last tour. And I think you know, from talking with Tabor, you know, I think this is still a work in progress. I think we're still tweaking some things to get better. But John Boy, what are your thoughts on the top 10 the way it is today?
It's really, you know, I remember how it used to be. It's really balanced. I feel like it's more balanced now. It's not totally dependent on one thing. And, you know, I know there's a big debate whether kart skill matters or not. And I've seen in some feeds that, you know, skill should be accounted for and it's not all about size. But, you know, we do this all the time. We do this for day in and day out, tour after tour. We go for ACR and we know what makes life easy for us. So, you know, that should be incorporated into these rankings depending on what you want to do with the game. you know, if you're just doing ranked, if you're just doing multiplayer, if you're doing ACR, you know, but you got to find a balance between all three of those things of put what value goes with what item, you know. And I agree with it, you know, and I think it's fair, and I think it's pretty balanced the way it is.
Good, man. I will say I love the fact that we just look at the last 6 months. That part I absolutely love. That was one of the bigger changes that we made with this this year 3. But I think also, you know, really the only thing I have downside to it is just when it comes to the drivers, we have a lot of drivers that don't have great skills. I always want to remind people that this top 10 is kind of like a power rankings, but then also it's also a highest likelihood that these drivers will be in ranked, you know, next tour, if you think about it like that way. Because I think that they specifically go out of their way to make drivers that are non-Coinbox. Now, of course, here we are in week 1 of ranked, and all 3 tracks have Coinbox drivers in them. But you know, I think in general they try to go out of their way to be able to have us using non-Coinbox drivers as much as they possibly can. Now, I think, you know, if you're going for all cup ranking, you're not using Penguin Mario. You're not using these drivers nearly enough. But I think for ranked specifically, it does tend to try to use these drivers. Specifically, looking at, you know, Berta Black as an example. I don't think there's any debate there for her. So going into this top 10, we got Berta Black at number 1, Builder Toad at number 2. These have been holding the same from last tour. But then these next 4 have gone up. In fact, these last 3 specifically have gone up quite substantially. Penguin Mario up 3 spots to number 3 on our list. Peach Happy up 6 spots to number 4 on our list. Very happy. I'm sure you're very happy there. Kamek up 6 spots to number 5. Luigi Painter up 1 spot to number 6. And then we have a couple drivers that had to move out of their way. So we're talking about Shy Guy Ninja falling 3 spots. Baby Mario Koala 5 spots, Peach Explorer 4 spots, and then King Bob-omb Gold down 2. So some big movement, mainly, you know, 4 going up, 4 going down. But in general, I think that any of these drivers are going to be great drivers to invest in, and they've been pretty heavily used these last 3 or 4 months. I think in general, really excited about Kamek, and I think, you know, Shy Guy Ninja is still pretty solid. I do think that Bounce, aka Kangaroo Yoshi, is going to break into this and probably be the better of the 2. But I mean, he's still got some really strong value. I think I'm using him twice in all cup ranking, and excited. I've been having some fun with Boombox, as I mentioned before. Going into the rounding out the top 15, we have Tanuki Rosalina at number 11. Bowser Santa at 12, Donkey Kong Jr. SNES at 13, Dry Bones still holding out 14. Even though we got rid of the data prior to 6 months ago, he's still number 14 on our list. And then Cat Toad at 15. What are your thoughts on this specific top 10, John Boy?
I like it. I mean, I'm liking that I invested in Happy Peach, and she's moving up the list, and I hope she sticks around for a while. And you know, King Bob-omb was my favorite Coinbox driver, and I think in his days on the top 10 list are pretty much numbered. I think maybe going into the new year, I'm thinking he's going to fall off, as well as a couple of these other drivers. And we might see, like you said, Kangaroo Yoshi come in here, and maybe a couple of these down here at the bottom. Maybe Donkey Kong Jr. sneaks into the top 10. Maybe he'll get a buff with this New Year's tour coming up, you know, since they seem to have a Kong theme to it. Maybe he'll get another buff coming into the new year. Maybe he'll sneak into that top 10 spot.
Maybe. I will say he's probably had the strangest buffings of any driver in the game, you know, from my perspective. It's just like he came out and was useless for 6 months, and then all of a sudden they buffed the bejesus out of him. So, yeah, I don't know if he's gonna peak at any point in time. We'll see if he breaks the top 10. I don't necessarily see him as a top 10 right now, but he's they've been loving him, and we haven't really seen him too often in pipes. So interesting there. As for the carts, we got Black Turbo Bird still at number 1. But I think it could be potentially overthrown by the Silver King one day. It's up 3 spots at number 2 at this moment. You got Painster down 1 at number 3. Romby Runner at number 4, holding that down that spot. The Kamek Zoom Broom, we saw it peak at number 3 last tour. It is number 5 this tour. And then Crawley Cart up 3 spots to number 6. That's phenomenal for a card that's been around for a while. I love the hitbox of the Crawley Cart, one of my favorite. Sunny Surf Sailor down 1 spot. Same with the Secure Quick Shot to number 7 and 8 respectively. And then Vampire Flyer up 11 spots to number 9. I'm going to see that continue to rise. I'm hoping. Huge hitbox. Love the card. AKA Batmobile, man. How awesome is that? So excited that they brought that to the game. Rose Taxi, number 10 on our list. Holding down that spot. Then we got Tanuki Cart on 11. Purple Bunny, seen better days. It's now at 12. Black Dozer. I personally love the Black Dozer, but it's number 13. It's been in the top 15 for, geez, since basically for like the last year. Pink Dozer number 14, and then Cactice at number 15. We have some nice hitboxes on here. I think the only ones that aren't really great hitboxes, of course, you're drawn towards that Black Turbo Birdo, but it is literally crushing every other category. Secure Quick Shop, you know, and Rose Taxi probably medium size, but everything else is pretty beefy. Purple Bunny and Tanuki Cart aren't huge, but I wouldn't say they're as small as, say, the Rose Taxi or the Secure Quick Shop. So, what are your thoughts on these top 10 carts, John Boy?
I love them, man. Silver King, I still have it at 6. I'm probably going to be taking it to 7, maybe in the next couple of tours. Painster, I haven't really used too much because most of the tracks it's on, I have something else for it that's already leveled up. So, not really a point to be leveling something up that I've already got coverage for. Ramby Runner's good. Zoom Broom, I like it. It's a 7 double uncap for me, but it's a little awkward to drive, and the hitbox is a little weird for Coinbox collection. Crawley Cart's amazing, you know, and that Vampire Flyer, I'm gonna have to keep my eye on it, see what tracks it gets in the future, and see if it's worth putting some tickets into.
Yeah, man, this is one of my favorite top 10 cart lists I've seen.
I mean, it's one of the best looking carts. It's probably the best looking cart in the game.
I mean, you mean Vampire Flyer? Yeah. I mean, I love the way it feels. I just love using it, man. It's such a fun cart. It's got those back wings, man. Just so cool. If you can invest in, like, I mean, Silver King's kind of the same boat there. Like Romby Runner, these are great looking carts, and I'm glad that they're buffing great looking carts. Stop buffing, you know, Rose Taxi, and you know what I mean, like even the Kamek Zoom Broom. Like it's love it or hate it, but like, hey, yeah, I'm glad that they're buffing. I'm glad that they're, you know, using it, and it is, you know, getting some highlights. Yeah, there we go. Then to the gliders, we have the Dream Gliders we talked about earlier, up 3 spots. Absolutely bonkers. It's number 1 glider in the game. We get the Black Toe Beam Balloons at number 2, holding down that spot from last tour. As we alluded to earlier, the Glinting Glider is number 3 on our list, up 3 spots. Black Great Sail fell down 1. Now here's the thing, all cup ranking, I'm using Black Great Sail like 6 or 7 times, man. It is still an awesome glider. It has so much coverage, and I'm sure each person who invested in it is very glad that they did. So feel free, don't let that 1 spot throw you off too much. I will say the one that fell down the most, and probably in a scary way, is this 8-bit Fire Flower. It was number 1. Here it is, number 5 now. Really scary the way it's dropping. I wonder if it peaked and now it's on its way down. With the 8-bit Bullet Bill down 1 spot to 6. Silver Mantic Glider, it's kind of teetered between, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, really for the last 3 or 4 months. Technically right now set number 7. And we got the Star Great Sail falling 1 to number 8. The Gold Home Field Glider, number 9 on our list, and the Springtime Crane, as we those two had stuck out their spots at 9 and 10 respectively. Then you got Ribbon at number 11, Flying Easel at 12, Rose Parasol at 13, Ship's Wheel at 14, and Bright Balloons at 15. JonBoy, what are your thoughts on the gliders, man?
Man, you're giving me a heart attack. You saying that about the 8-bit Fireflower, and I just leveled it, took it to 7 and double uncapped it. And now you're saying it's on its way out. Come on, man.
I know, man. I'm sorry to say that, but the data doesn't lie. Yeah,
I know the data doesn't lie, but come on, man. Don't get my hopes up when
I didn't. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what? It's an interesting glider because I don't have it at like double uncapped or thing, but I think I have it at level 7, 490 in all cup ranking. I think I'm only using it once this tour. Do you know if you're using it a lot at the levels you have it?
I know. Last tour I used it quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Last tour I did use it quite a bit.
That's why it was number 1 last tour.
That's why it was number 1. And that was Starry Great Sail. I have single uncapped level 7. Like I said, Dream Glider I don't have. Black Toe Bean Balloons I don't have at a high level.
You know, you probably JonBoy, you probably should have got that Dream Glider. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I probably could have. But hey, it might come back to bite me one day. But today is not that day.
Today's not that day. Yeah. Hey, you know what? We all missed some. But yeah. So sorry, I interrupted you. Starry Great Sail.
Black Great Sail is triple uncapped, and it's basically got every airship fortress, I think.
Oh, dude, it's got every track. Like it is a absolute bonkers track. It is crazy.
It has an absurd amount of tracks, but
I think you're still sitting pretty good. It is. I don't think you're gonna regret that 8-bit Fireflower. It's just down 4 spots. This tour, it is a non-factor. I will say.
It is. It is. Hey, you know, everything's got to have a spotlight. You know, and out with the old, in with the new. So speaking of new, you know, New Year's coming up. And everybody's going to be excited for that and see how things get shaken up then.
Yeah, do you have any predictions for the New Year's tour? Do you think that's when we'll finally get an 8-bit pipe?
We might. I mean, they could do anything, but you know, I think basing it off of the previous ones, they're probably going to be a mix of city courses, sort of like what they do for the anniversary tours, where they'll have both pipes will probably be 12% odds, and then we'll have probably 2, maybe a 50 pipe and a 30 pipe. I'm not exactly sure.
We'll get plenty of pipes and plenty of packs, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. They're gonna make sure they try to empty all the whales' wallets.
Well, they still can. Yeah, I'm with you there. As for the movers and shakers, we saw a lot of movement from other drivers. Some that we've already talked about, like Waluigi Vampire, up 20 spots. He was the biggest mover. He's number 48 on our list. It's good for him. You know, we occasionally we see these Bob-omb Cannon drivers break our top 10. Obviously, Black Birdo being our number 1 right now. We'll see how high his goes up. I think if they continue to buff him the way that they have this tour, he could get pretty scary high. Daisy Holiday Cheer, it's interesting. Obviously not surprising in a holiday tour that she would go up, but just she's been around for a long time. It's interesting to see if they'll keep this trend after the holidays, because they've been buffing the craziness out of her for these last 2 months. Mario Salabu, obviously nice to see him go up 15 spots to number 45 on our list, considering he is literally brand new. He's already higher than Waluigi Vampire, who came out, obviously, you know, that a tour or two before. Mario Santa up 13 spots to number 69. A great number there. Pink Yoshi up 11 spots to number 81. Then we got Bounce, a.k.a. Yoshi Kangaroo, up 10 spots to number 16. I consider this a lock for top 10 eventually. We got Rosalina Halloween somehow getting a buff. Not that it's super high, number 54 on our list, so don't get too excited. But interesting to see how she's been used to some extent here recently. Tanuki Mario, 36, up 8 spots. And then Tanuki Rosalina up 7 spots to number 11. And then Bowser Santa obviously being in some of these spotlights and stuff, number 12 on our list. So as we look at the carts, you know, typically the ones that stick out are the ones that moved up the most. So the gold pumpkin cart, obviously, with as many buffs as it got, it changed 39 spots to number 40 on our list. Kind of alluded to this earlier. The Creamy Dasher up 32 spots to number 52 on our list. Cact R, this kind of maybe breaks the tie. The Cact R went up 30 spots to number 47, and the yellow, as you mentioned, the yellow off-roader nowhere to be seen on this list. So maybe to break the tie, that Cact R gets a little bit of the nod. I'm not really going to talk too much about any of these other ones. The Red Collie Cart is now number 32 on our list. It's up 16 spots. That's it, man. Ice Dozer up 15 spots to number 35. That's really the only thing I'm going to talk about for the carts. And then gliders. Magic Parasol went up the most. It went up 26 spots. Not quite as much as some of those carts. I think the carts have so much fluctuation because there's so many of them. So to see like the gold pumpkin cart go up 39 spots, but the Magic Parasol being the most that went up for the gliders, and it only went up 26 spots. You have to realize that that's just a big difference between the carts and gliders. Not necessarily anything crazy with that item in particular. The glitter glider went up 26 spots to number 59. The polka dot manta glider, here's an interesting one. It went up 22 spots. Now number 24 on our list. Really good there. Ship's Wheel went up 12 spots to number 14. Golden Wings went up 11 spots to go 17. Then Silver Surf Sailor went up 9 spots for 16. Those are the ones that stand out to me. But what are your thoughts here on these top movers and shakers, John Boy?
Yeah, man. I'm really liking, like I said before, Mario Teleview. He's Lucky 7 driver. Really good skill. Hopefully he gets the right buffs in the future. I mean, if he's paired up with a bunch of Coinbox drivers, you know, that
I like his buffs now, though. I don't think he has too much Coinbox overlap, which is what I really like about him right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping they keep that trend.
I hope so, too, yeah.
And, you know, I see Tanuki Rosalina at number 11. You know, that's great and all, but I still don't like the skill. I'm sorry.
You have to love that outfit, though. She's got a. I like that.
She's got nice assets, if that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Anything else from the carts and gliders that stuck out?
Oh well, it would stick out to me if they would just stop giving us so many stinking carts.
We have a lot. I mean,
carts. we have like twice the amount of carts as we do any other thing in the game, and you know, a lot of these are just going to get lost in the wash. You know, it doesn't matter if you're missing a cart here or there. I mean, there's going to be 50 more carts on down the road, you know, and, you know, I'd like if they just, you know, start balancing out the amount of items that we have, new items versus old items. And, you know, some of these so-called filler tours are good when they don't try to shove a bunch of new items at us every time. Every time we turn around, we're having to get all these new items. And I think we have plenty for now. And, you know, if they start buffing some of these older items, bringing them back in rotation, you know, I think that's good for newer players coming along that might not have one of these things. You know, because that list of things you don't have, especially if you're a newer player, it gets more daunting every time they add something new onto that list, you know?
Yeah, man. I think when we think back about this past year, that just trying to hit the home run with carts is just so tough. It's like just so difficult. You know, and they had a little trend this summer where they had, you know, the week 2 new cart. So thinking like, you know, Silver King, thinking Romby Runner. They were pretty consistent with that, which was really surprising, though, when we had the Black Cat Cruiser, and we're like, it's a black item, Nintendo loves black items, and then, you know, it was kind of following this trend, and so we were all like, like ready to put our lock and loaded, you know, pick there for it to blast off, and it really hasn't. So again, it kind of shows you like it's so tough to be able to pick cards and be able to pick which one's going to be the home run. I think you're just gotta, you know, ride your card and just say, hey, this is what I'm going to be investing in this coverage, and then just try to play accordingly. I think the Karts, though, it does allow you to be able to kind of play the coverage better. I think with, like, you know, drivers, you're just going for Coinbox, and you're obviously going to get other overlap with other Coinbox drivers. And for gliders, there aren't as many gliders. So I think with Karts, though, it's like you can actually not overlap easier, than, in my opinion, than with the gliders. The gliders, you're going to overlap. It's just how it's going to be. And then, you know, if you're investing in Coinboxers, you're going to overlap, period. That's just going to happen. So there you go. I think the one segment, kind of the takeaway from this rundown is just, you know, kind of that the special items, you know, it's like hitting a triple, man. It's hard to hit that home run. It's hard to pick which one's going to break to the top. Now, as we alluded to with the All Cup ranking, there's some that are being used more often than others. Obviously, we have a couple new items that are used a lot. So 3 items are used 10 times of the, what is it, 36 tracks. Right, so it's 12 times 3, 36. So Sleigh Rider, this Cheer Ship, and then the Candlelight Flight, all used 10 times. Now, 10 isn't the hugest number. We've seen some that have seen like 12, 13 tracks, so not super high. A couple have 9 tracks, so we're thinking about this Candy Clown and this Dark Buggy. Obviously, the Candy Clown being the new commemorative item. When we look at items that are used 8 times in the All Cup ranking, Tanuki Rosalina, surprisingly, actually, and then the Holiday King 8 times, and then the Star Spangled Glider, Jolly Bells, and then surprisingly the Blooper Wingtip. What in the world? I mean, the Holiday King, the Star Spangled Glider, Jolly Bells, you're expecting all those, but Blooper Wingtip, that's interesting. As for the drivers that are used 7 times, we have 3. We have Mario Santa, Mario Saddle of You, and Nabbit. 2 of those 3 obviously being lucky 7 and great drivers that hopefully you've invested in. Surprised we have the Koopa King 7 times there, and then the Luna Cruiser, a new one there. Nice to see that 7 times. And then 3 gliders used 7 times. The Meteor Balloons, the Polka Dot Manta Glider, and the Nabbit Oil Paper Umbrella. So I'd say most of the time we see, you know, similar items from All Cup ranking MVP to All Cup, you know, from tour to tour. You know, we see like Peach Explorer on there. You know, we see Off-Roader on there. We see Crawley Cart on there. You know, we see these kind of the same items over and over again. These are mostly first time ever being on this list, and maybe the last time too. I mean, I think if you were to ask me like which one's been on this list the most out of all these, I don't know, man. Maybe the Nabbit Oil Paper Umbrella, maybe Nabbit. Like, I don't know. Like, that's the only, we don't see very many of these very often. So I think for me, we've here at our house, we've been having some you know, it's kind of interesting with our schedules with the holidays. So I thought about going for All Cup ranking, maybe a top 10 push one day. And then I saw my loadouts. I don't have any of these items at high levels. I think the Koopa King I have, you know, at level 7. Nabbit I have at level 7. Mario Saddle of You level 7. That's about it. So maybe Dark Buggy, you know, 490. So for me, like, this is not a tour to be going for All Cup ranking. However, if you wanted a tour to do really well with All Cup ranking, if you want to zig while everyone's zagging, this is a great tour to take advantage of the whale's poor loadouts for this tour. So just putting it out there, shout out to Tabor, who just got top 1,000. Great job there. I know he secretly was doing it, trying not to draw attention to him. But we're so proud of our Tabor. He did such a phenomenal job. And then we have the rank tracks. So these are tracks that are... Oh, by the way, did you want to add anything to that, JonBoy?
Actually, I did.
Sorry about that. Go ahead for it.
But notice they hyped up one driver all the way to this tour. They hyped up one driver, yet he does not appear on this list. Bowser Santa. Where's Bowser Santa? You would think, being a spotlight driver, being a Coinbox driver, he would be on this list somewhere, but he is not.
It's a really good point.
And I think of all of these items, I think I have 3 that are at level 7 and fully maxed out, ready for all cup ranking. And that'd be the Dark Buggy, Mario Satellaview, and Nabbit. Other than that, I have none of these items at over a 5.
Well, there's a lot of new items. Yeah, I'm the same way. I think I have Koopa King at level 7. But other than that, same with you, man. Same with me. You know, I think because we have so many new items, and then these others are just so obscure. It's just really odd. And so I think the takeaway is, you know, if someone wants to go for all cup ranking because everyone else has poor loadouts, this might be the tour to do it. Now, of course, it's, you know, maybe you don't.
And that also ties into the types of tracks we have this tour. A lot of the people that do ACR like myself, I look at Vanilla Lake and I'm like, I don't want to grind that for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't want to grind Mary Mountain. I really don't, you know? And so I'm probably going to, you know, like you said, I'm zigging, I'm zagging. You guys can do what you like. You know, the table's open for you if you want to go for it. You know, I'm going to get my 100 badge and call it a day and on to the next one.
Yeah, if you have, you know, a Nabbit, or maybe you went all in on this Mario Satellaview and you want to get finally your top 100 badge, top 1,000 badge, this is a great tour to do it. Solid points there.
Frenzy Fans is going to have a good day because he did level up that Lunar Cruiser, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right. There you go. All right, we'll have to see if he makes a push for it. For ranked tracks, for ranked this week, you probably already familiar with this. Bowser Santa opens up at level 6. So he's there with King Boo Gold, so hopefully you're using a Coinbox driver on that track, although it's very, very difficult. I did put out a strat of the week for Merry Mountain R, so check that out if you haven't already. Holiday King and Jolly Bells both get unlocked at level 6 on Merry Mountain R as well. A lot of options on Choco Island 1. Most likely you're using Dry Bones Gold. A lot of people have them at a high level, but if not, Pauline Rose is released at level 3, and then Baby Peach, Cherub, and Dixie Kong get access to Choco Island 1 at level 6. A lot of cards get unlocked at level 3 and 6 here for Choco Island 1, including Sleigh Rider at level 3. And then Macaroon, Off-Roader, Poison Apple Cart. Looks like Poison Apple Cart is in there twice. I'm not sure why that's the case. But definitely the Poison Apple Cart. I will say most people are using the Off-Roader. I see that as one of the most common. Now, someone may not have it at level 6, and so from that perspective, makes that a little bit more difficult. But you have plenty of options. I don't think you're necessarily worried about that as much. Chocolate Banana Crepe at level 3. Royal Parachute at level 6. Sweetheart Glider at level 6. And then for Vanilla Lake 2T, if you were hoping for something to bail you out, there are no unlockable driver's carts or gliders for Vanilla Lake 2T. So that all is for ranked this week. As for next week, Vanilla Lake 2R, you have the Sleigh Rider, which unlocks at level 6, and that is it. No drivers, no gliders. For Rosalina Ice World, you have Fire Rosalina at level 3, Tanuki Rosalina at level 3, Lakitu Party Time at level 6, so great option there. For Karts, you have the Dreamy Egg at level 3, the Lunar Cruiser, and the Party Wing at level 6. And then some decent gliders here. New Year's Glider 2021 at level 3. Then the Gold New Year's Kite, the Galaxy Glider, the Pink Gold Meteors, and the New Year's 2021. That can't possibly be in there twice. So I'll have to check that before I release it to Reddit. But just so you know, you have a lot of options there unlocked at level 6 for Rosalina Ice World R. And then finally, the last track for ranked is Merry Mountain RT. You have the Cheer Ship opening up at level 6, and then the Candlelight Flight at level 6. So those two new items, you probably aren't running into that option. Now, in total, some of the multiple use ranked items, some of the ones to invest in if you are only focused in on ranked, so the best to invest in to try to win ranked between this week and next. Bowser Santa, he's got 3 total tracks, 1 unlocked at level 6. That's the one we're referring to with Merry Mountain R. 2 other ones obviously being Vanilla Lake, and so you have some options there. Cat Toad twice, Daisy Holiday Cheer, Mario Santa, Nabbit, Black Birdo, Penguin Mario, and Tanuki Rosalina, all a total of 2 tracks. The one caveat is that Tanuki Rosalina is unlocked to level 3 for one of her tracks, which we just referred to on the last slide. And then when we move into carts, we really the 2 biggest ones are the Holiday King and the Sled Rider. They are used 3 times. Holiday King used at level 6. And Sled Rider, you have 1 at level 3 and 1 at level 6. So those are your big beefy ones for ranked. You got Candy Clown, Penguin Slider, Sushi Racer, Crawly Karts, Cheermellow, Cleanup Hitter, and the Creamy Dasher, all twice, all immediately at level 1. And then you have the Cheer Ship that we kind of talked about is released at 6. And then for gliders, the biggest 3 are the Star Spangled Glider, the Candlelight Flight, and the Jolly Bells. Those all are used 3 times, with the Candlelight Flight and the Jolly Bells only having 2 of those tracks released at level 1, and 1 of those released at level 6 for each of those. And then we have a number that are released immediately that you can already see their coverage. Those are the Gift Glider, Planet Glider, Polka Dot Manta Glider, and Silver Surf Master, all used twice, all at level 1. And then you have a couple squirrely ones here. You got the New Year's 2021 at level 3. And then you have Royal Parachute released at level 6. And then Galaxy Glider we have 1 released at level 6. So really, really good options there. I know I'll be using the Galaxy Glider. In fact, that gives me some indication I could take this one off here. I think it's actually just put on there twice. So sorry about that, guys. We were trying to get this to you today, so we had to skim through some of it. But there you go. We're an hour and 40 minutes into this presentation. Thank you so much for joining us for another rendition of the Rundown. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. I think we're up to probably like 1.3, 1.4 thousand subscribers, so excited about that. But really, this channel and what I try to do with it is for the members. I try to think when I wake up, I'm like, what do I do for my channel? I honestly think, like, what can I do to make my memberships better and to bring more value to them? So that's why I'd love to be able to have you in our community, and if that makes sense for you, we'd love to have you join us. We've had some people join the Super Studs, and excited to have them on Kart Talk. I know this week we will have ThisBeChris join us. I'm so excited. He's our newest Super Stud, and so he'll be joining us. And then we had for this contest, as I mentioned, congratulations again, JonBoy88, for winning that contest. We did have 2 runners up that tied with the exact same score. I think something like 368, or they both got the same exact score. So I said, why don't you guys come on Kart Talk, both of you? And so we'll have Zooms and MKD Ben join us for Kart Talk this week. Excited to get some really unique perspectives join us. But thank you guys all for joining the Rundown. Specifically, John Boy, thank you for joining us. Congratulations again on winning our contest. Anything you'd like to be able to say to your fans as we wrap up the episode?
I appreciate you having me on here, and it was a blast racing with you guys this month, and it was a lot of fun kicking your butt at multiplayer. And I'll see you in the new year and see if you can still keep up. But I appreciate it. It was a great time, and I hope the fans get what they want and get what they need in the pipes. And yeah, you guys come join Discord, come join the community, become a member. We have a lot of fun. And who knows, maybe one of you guys could be the next guest on the Rundown.
Yeah, and you never know, and I cannot wait to get out of this costume. I will say, I cheated. I didn't wear the lights, but I'm still. I don't know if you can see, I have like sweat marks. It's hot, man. I cannot wait to take this thing off.
Hey, maybe if you wore the lights, you would have set it on fire, and then you wouldn't have had to wear it again.
That's a good point. That's certainly within the realm of possibility. Well, thank you guys all for joining us. We'll catch you on Kart Talk, and thank you as always. And Until then, may the frenzy luck be with you guys.
May the frenzies forever be in your favor.
There you go.